Allison can also do personal readings for grieving families. So Mary Logan wrote to us after her daughter Candace lost her life in a bike accident 5 months ago. Candace left behind a husband, Wade, and a 14-month-old son, Owen. Take a look.
I had written information when I was in my room. One, I saw a girl under you. So that'd be like a daughter. Do you have a daughter?
I do.
Okay.
I have three daughters.
Okay. Is one of your daughters passed?
Yeah.
Okay. Interestingly enough, doesn't matter how old they were when they died, like she kept showing herself little. And sometimes they do that because that's when they were the happiest and the most secure. She had this part of her hair pulled back, and then she had curls down the back. And that's how she was showing herself. And so there would be a picture of her looking like that.
That was the vision of her as a young girl.
She's making me feel a lot of pain in my head. So at the time of passing, her head would have hurt badly. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
But she's like, no more. You know, no more. Don't think of it that way. And part of her saying, when she passed, it actually felt kind of quick to her. Almost like she was bounced out of the body. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't her. She didn't feel responsible. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. It was wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
It wasn't her fault.
No.
She was hit by an automobile and hit the windshield and really shattered her head and had major internal injuries. And Allison, without knowing what happened to my wife, brought up that she had major head injuries.
We got to the hospital, I guess. Did she hear us? Did she?
She did. She heard you, but she was already gone, is the way she's saying it.
Is she at peace?
Yes. With you, she points to the two of you standing under like a palm tree and like a picture taken, but she shows tropical in the picture taken. And it's the beach and there's palm trees. Do you know what picture she's talking about? Did you go to Hawaii?
A really big thing that made me think and feel pretty confident in what we were doing was a Hawaii trip that Candace and I took. And there were photographs that Candace and I took together that were under a palm tree. My son and I have a routine each night to sing a song and try to think of her. Does she see or feel that moment?
Yes. Yes. So
Is there anything that she would like to say to him?
she says, Mommy loves you. She comes to him in dreams, but she also sits on the end of his bed at night to make sure he's okay. So just try to maybe explain that, Mommy's his angel now because she says she's his angel. I love children because they have no issues. They have no edit. They just feel them and see them and need to make sense of it.
Owen does reference Mommy quite a bit. And I know that that great bond that they had is going to be there from today and into the future.
All right, man. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem, Harakwakwa. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out here pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. We almost out of here. All right. So I'm going to entitle this lesson, Are Psychics Real? I just played that clip, and it showed this woman doing a reading, should I say, upon this man that lost his wife, and she was saying she shouldn't have known. Does that make it real? No. All right. Is it possible according to the Bible? Stick around and we can find out together. We'll dig into the scriptures and we'll see what we come up with. But you look on a lot of commercials or whatnot, and they used to, when I was growing up anyway, they used to advertise, because I don't really see it too much. They used to advertise these psychic hotlines, and you would call the psychic hotline and you would pay something like, it was expensive back then. I remember you used to pay something like, I'm going to just throw a number out there that's close, like $199 to to $1.99 to like $2.99 a minute when I was growing up. I don't see those commercials anymore. All right, but they used to come on a lot back when I was growing up, man. And a lot of people have questions about the authenticity of a psychic. Can a psychic talk to the dead? Can a psychic see into the future? All right. Well, let's get into it. It's not going to be a quick one. I'm going to just deal with one book because the one book is going to deal with the whole topic. So bear with me. Write down the scriptures. It's going to be a quick one. Matter of fact, that's 1 Samuel 28. 1 Samuel 28. And I don't know why. Every time I'm doing a video and recording it, my Bible app screws up. When I'm not doing a video, my Bible app works flawlessly. It's cool though. That just makes me want to go harder. So whatever spirit doing that, you ain't doing it but making me want to go harder. You'll make me put up 2 videos, man. The fuck? It's cool. I ain't tripping. And spirits do things like this. There's actually a spirit that only disrupts electronics and automobiles. I forgot the name of that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a lesson on that. I'm gonna get my old notes together and I'm gonna do a lesson on that spirit. That spirit that interferes with electronics and automobiles. That spirit does have a name, but you just rebuke them, man, and you keep on going. And if your stuff don't work, the Most High, He's in control of everything at the end of the day. So the Most High didn't want you to do it. But if a spirit trying to dissuade me from doing something, it's not happening. Not happening, man. You're going to have to shut my shit down. Let's get it, baby. 1 Samuel 28, and we could go to 3. And I'm going to give you a backdrop on this because I be expecting people to know these biblical stories. Everybody don't, though. Saul, King Saul, he was the king of Israel once upon a time, and he had a seer, and his name was Samuel. Samuel has a book in the Bible. Matter of fact, I'm reading out of Samuel, and Samuel ended up passing away. So Saul had nobody to get no advice from, no spiritual advice. All right. So Saul needs some advice because he's at war with the Philistines and it's not looking good, and he wants some spiritual advice on how to move. So let's go 1 Samuel 28 and 3. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of his land. Ooh, that's part of the answer that came up. So somebody that has a familiar spirit is a necromancer, somebody that can talk to the dead. Don't take my word for it. Let's get it in the blue letter. Let's get that word familiar spirit in the blue letter. And the blue letter breaks down the word till its original content, just for you people that don't know. All right, 1 Samuel 28 and 3. Familiar spirit. And the way this is the word familiar spirit in the Hebrew. I don't know why it's not playing. Well, it's supposed to pronounce the word. I pronounce it Ovi. Ovi. All right. Now we're going to go to the second definition. All right. Necromancer. One who evokes the dead. One who evokes the dead. So he kicked all of those people out because according to the Lord, he doesn't want you dealing with those types of people. But we're going to keep going. And wizards out of the land. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit. He's asking for a psychic. They didn't call them psychics back then. They was talking about people that had familiar spirits, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said, behold, there is a woman that have a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, other clothes. He went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring him up, whom I shall name unto thee. So he's asking the lady to bring up the recently deceased Samuel. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And she's telling him, look, Saul made it illegal for us to do these things. And if I get caught doing it, Saul gonna kill me. You trying to set me up to get killed. And Saul swore to her by the Lord, as the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, be not afraid. For what sawest thou? He's asking the lady, what did you see? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets, nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord have done to him as he spoke by me. For the Lord have rent the kingdom out of thine hand and given it to thy neighbor David. So this Samuel telling him that the Lord has taken Israel, the kingdom, out of his hand, and he's given it to David. Because thou obeyedest not the voice of the Lord, nor executedest his wrath upon Amalek. Therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. And all right, now that's when stories have to come in. All right. The Lord told Saul to kill all of the Edomites, and he spared the chief house of the Edomites, and it pissed the Lord off, and it cost him the kingdom. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me, and the Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. So that's Samuel telling Saul, tomorrow you and your sons going to be with me in the spirit realm, and the Philistines are going to beat y'all. Then Saul fell straightway all along on the earth, and was sore afraid because of the words of Samuel, and there was no strength of him, for he had eaten no bread all day, nor all night. All right. Hold on, I'm going to go down. Now, she did what he asked, and Samuel told him what was going to happen. All right. Let's go to 29. Bear with me. I'm getting to the point. I'm trying to get to the part where it actually happened. Okay. What do these Hebrews here? Okay. I think it was the one right there. So David. Okay, bear with me, people. Hold on. You know, 1 minute. All right. I'm gonna find the rest of those. I'm gonna find the rest of the story. All right. But Saul ended up being killed. He ended up getting killed in the same manner as that lady told him what was gonna happen to him and his sons. All right. So to answer that question, yes, yes. There are people that have what you can call psychic abilities. All right. It happens. All right. The majority of the people that you see in these days and time, they fakes. But Esau, Edom, the elites of this side, they know what's going on, and they have people that they pay, and they are supposedly good or whatever to do things like this, man. Spiritual Satan even talks to the Edomites. So yes, it's possible, and it happened. I just read you the account. You can read it for yourself. 1 Samuel 28, read it on down. With that, I want to give all infinite honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Harakwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out here pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. Kwam Yasharala, a ball. Shalom, Akim.